And you also have a book coming up with Leanne Lowe Press. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so that one I'm very excited about too. It's called Under My Hijab, and it's a picture book as well. It's coming out by the end of the year, and it's being illustrated by a young Muslim artist. And it's really a celebration of the hijab, the headscarf. And the idea for it really came from a couple years ago, just hearing a lot of the negativity in the news about the hijab and things like the ban in France and things like that, and knowing some of the struggles that Muslim women who do wear the hijab were facing, and feeling concern even for family members of mine. And I have my sister-in-law wears the hijab, and she was telling me how when she worked in a school setting in particular, there were kids who didn't know if she had ears, or they would ask her because she tied it tight around her face, and they would ask little questions like that. And I always hear people say things like, do you shower with that on, or things like that. There's a lot of confusion around it. So I thought a simple book that sort of demystifies this piece of cloth and celebrates it through generations. So it features many women in one little girl's life who wear the hijab, and sort of shows them going on in their lives, doing what they do, whether it's a profession or a passion, and then showing them in that environment, and then in a home environment where they're not wearing it, and sort of linking their hair to their passion. So it was a fun book to write, and hopefully will be well received.
And you have some materials that will be along to be used with it as well, that there'll be some sort of educational materials that support
hopefully
it as
like
well.
a nice guide. And same with Crescent Moons and Pointed Minarets coming out. We're putting together some resources for all of my picture books at Chronicle, for educators to be able to use, and hopefully have activities and discussions around it. Once you pay attention to something, then all these other things seem to be more obvious. And we saw not only the Barbie doll, but also Nike came out with a hijab. I don't know if you saw that, with the swoosh on it, and all these things. Ad campaigns that are being inclusive of Muslim women who wear the hijab, whether the cover of a magazine, or even just brands choosing to feature Muslim women that way. So it's nice to see that people are definitely trying to be inclusive, and hopefully it just becomes a normal, something people just accept as a normal choice that women make. But I think right now there is, more confusion about it than maybe needs to be.
And I think some high school sports teams do have sort of adapted their uniforms and sort of given girls an option so that they can play the sport that they're trying to play.
Absolutely.
However it is.
Yeah,
so
and I do think overwhelmingly
examples.
in those situations people are supportive, when they understand. But I think it's really, more of just the perception of what even the hijab means, and whether it is something that independent, educated, empowered women choose. And that was part of the message I wanted to bring forth in the book, that these women are all accomplished and modern, and that they wear the hijab, and it's not a symbol of oppression in any way or anything like that.